So now moving on to the team who it's probably not going to be their division. Just fair to say, I think. And the final team in the AFC North, the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I've got
left tackle. Draft 7 fucking left tackle.
I think they have needs all over the field. But number one is fix the offensive line.
Just or Joe Burrow, something. Man.
Do something, right? So target the offensive line in free agency, trade, and draft. Take somebody from all of them. There's you've got Joe Burrow behind the line, who I think has the highest ceiling in their division. Sorry, Lamar. I think Joe Burrow has the highest ceiling in their division. Obviously, we didn't see very much of him. I possibly think he could be the best quarterback in the division. I know Lamar's an MVP. I'm not saying Lamar sucks. I just think his arm talent will eventually reach a plateau, which then limits the Baltimore offense from being able to do what they want to do. So they've been forced into this athletic style of offense. But I think you need to protect your best asset. So it's not just a getting better need for them. It's a business need for them.
They're going to ruin that kid.
Yeah, it's like you don't see the Americans leaving oil fields alone in the Middle East. They leave army bases near them because they know that they can get blown up. And Joe Burrow is an oil field in the Middle East, you know? Like that's what he is. He's their best chance of being any good. So don't let the dude get injured. There are a few people who are hitting free agency that I think might be able to help the Bengals. They are going to have to give up a lot of money to get them.
Trent Williams.
That's the issue. Trent Williams, 91.9 PFF grade last season. That's the leading O-lineman in the NFL.
He is going to want a Brinks truck full of money, but he's worth it.
Yeah, exactly. And then Joe Thuney of the New England Patriots at the moment as well.
I think he's going to get overpaid for what he is, but I think he's decent.
Yeah, I think they're definitely letting him walk, but he is definitely better than what the Bengals have.
Oh, yes.
So I think that's a no-brainer for the Bengals. If you can get him, then I would take him definitely, because I think he's like, the Bengals are kind of known for being a bit cheap as well. I don't want to be a bit harsh on Cincinnati like that, but they're known for being cheap. So he's the cheapest option. He's a good option as well. And he's been in New England, so he brings a bit of class to the organization, like maybe brings a bit of a winning mentality to the offensive line. And he's played with Tom Brady, so maybe he can tell Joe Burrow a bit about what it's like to play with.
The only problem is the Bengals have the cheapest owner in the NFL.
Yeah, exactly. And then which is why I don't think they'll go in for Trent Williams. And then there's Brendan Sheff, I think that's how you pronounce his name, of the Washington football team.
Yeah.
Who is the top-ranked free agent lineman by the Pro Football Network. He might not make it to free agency. They're still talking about re-signing him and stuff like that. So he might not make it, but with the way that the football team is, you know that they'll mess this up. They'll find a way to mess this up. And he is a great lineman as well.
Did you just say that the 2021 NFC East divisional champions are going to screw this up?
Yeah, definitely. They'll find a way.
Oh, because they're winning your division this year.
We'll talk about that another time. I can't go on with that right now. They've found a way. They've already found the way to make themselves the most hated team in the league again by cutting Alex Smith. So I think we can.
Jeff Bezos is going to be their owner, but we'll get to that too.
Yeah, so definitely not a cheap team.
It's going to be the Washington Prime.
But Brandon Sheff would work for the Bengals as well. They've just got to target anybody they can get in the offensive line. They're going to have to overpay for that.
This is the season, though, where you can get a lot of mid-level guys. We've been saying this. They're going to hit free agency because they're cap casualties. The Bengals could almost retool really quick if they'd be willing to spend the money.
Yeah, they can. If they go out and spend the money, I wouldn't even think about doing anything else apart from getting an offensive line together to protect.
I agree.
To protect Burrow. It's not even to become better. It's just to protect him so that you can make the team better and not have a quarterback with a broken leg. And on the offensive line, we have them drafting Penei Sewell as the 5th overall pick in the draft.
I'm willing. I think that's their pick too. I do,
yeah.
but I'm willing to take any of the top offensive linemen.
Yeah.
And I'm almost thinking, I don't think they will, trade back if you can. If there's still a quarterback there, trade back.
Yeah, but if Penny Sewell's there, you may as well just take him straight off the board.
Unless you can get a bunch of building blocks because you need everything.
Yeah.
Like there's a couple teams that might be willing to give up 2 first-round picks to get up, and you only drop back 5-6 picks and still get a great offensive lineman. Do it, because they need as many picks as they can get to fix everything that's going on in Cincinnati. If they could draft a new owner, I'd tell them to do that.
The football team might, if they get an aggressive new owner who's one of the richest men on the planet, then they could definitely say, let's move up to that 5th overall pick and fix our quarterback issue right away. Like, and then you take it. If they give you the world for that. But if Penny Sewell's there, I think you just take it. I think you just
got the draft order in front of you.
Not the entire draft order. No.
Okay, I think it's 7th or 9th, but I think it's 7th that the Panthers draft.
The Panthers are 8th, I think.
Okay, so if you're Washington and you can get a 1st and a 2nd or something to drop back 3 spots so that the Panthers can move up and take a Trey Lance or something, though, I say you do that.
Trey Lance will fall to the
No, but I just think the Panthers are going to be aggressive and move up for a quarterback.
Yeah, and definitely.
So if you're still sitting there at 5 and one of those teams try to move up and you only have to go back 3, 5, even San Francisco, if they want a quarterback at 12 and they're willing to give you a bunch of picks, I think that they need so much help that you almost have to take it. You're almost in the position of the Jets. You just got to get as much talent in that building as you can.
Yeah. Well, I think we all know with the division that they're in, they're going to be picking high in the draft next year too. So 2022 draft, there's a high chance they're going to be in the top 10 picks. So why not get Penny Sewell now, fix your offensive line, which we've been talking about so you don't break Burrow, and then next season, when you've got your quarterback sorted, we think, obviously he's played, like 5-6 games, but, we've got your quarterback sorted, we think, for the future. You should have your offensive line sorted if you just attack it now. You should be able to get something going at offensive line. And then from there, why not draft back in the 2022 draft, take a load of picks, and then build up from there, if they're thinking that long term.
Yeah, like I said before, offensive linemen in the first round make me nervous. So if I could trade back, get a buttload of picks, and still get an offensive lineman, I'd feel better about it.
Yeah.
But, if you have good GMs, draft picks are freaking gold. If you have bad GMs, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's true.
It all depends on your front office too. And I got zero faith in Cincinnati to do anything right.
I don't think anybody has any faith in Cincinnati to do anything right. I think Jerry Springer should take over the Cincinnati Bengals. Go back home. He was mayor of Cincinnati, wasn't he? Jerry Springer. Yeah. And then he goes back, takes over the Bengals. Everything he touches seems to turn to gold. So
every halftime
get him in the
we could
organization.
do a mini Springer show.
Yeah, genius. Solid. And then get fans in the stadium again, Stop them being discussed as one of the teams that's coming to the UK. Wonderful.
Well, Maddie, I think we covered them all. Anything else you'd like to add? Just cut me off and jump in.
No, I think we're good. I think we've got them.
All right. Well, everybody, thanks for watching. If you're watching us on YouTube, like and follow, or like and subscribe. If you're watching us on Facebook, like and follow. And Maddie's going to be dropping some podcasts on different platforms. So you can look out for that. And Maddie, you got any idea what some of the platforms may be for them? Yeah, in weeks to come. So it takes a while before you can get registered on things like Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, and Spotify Podcast. So they should be on by next week, and it will be the Yankee and the Brit. So if you prefer to not look at us when we're talking, which is very understandable with the hair that we've got going on and things like that, then I think that's a great place for you to listen to it too. And it'll be on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, as well as things like Breaker. And if you particularly want it on any other podcasting things, please feel free to comment below and let us know. If you're listening to this on the podcast already, I'm sorry you didn't need to hear that, but that's fine. Great. Fair enough. All right, guys. Well, if you don't think we suck, tell a friend to tell a friend. And thanks again for watching. One world, one love. Deuces.
Cheerio.